Hi, my name is Joshua Colley. I play Hook in Descendants: The Rise of Red, and this is Young Entertainment.
Is there anything you do before an audition?
Learn the lines. I learned the lines before the audition. I think that's very important. But yeah, no, I just kind of, sometimes I read the script if they send that over. Um, for this particularly, for Descendants, I don't know, it came to me pretty naturally. I think I've always wanted to play like a British character, and I've always been a fan of Hook. I went as him for Halloween when I was, 7. And so he's always been up inside of me somewhere, lurking with his little hook. Um, and so yeah, it just came very easily to me. And luckily they liked what I was doing. So yeah.
Wow, that is amazing that it's come full circle. I'm
No,
sure little
literally, it's
you,
manifestation.
total manifestation. Little you is probably like, good job, Joshua. I'm so proud. I never doubted us. So I love to hear that.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Do you remember where you were when you first got the news that you were going to play Hook?
I got the news. I was in a Chipotle. I was
Chipotle.
in a Chipotle, and I had also found out that I got the role in the Netflix series I just did called Dead Boy Detectives at the exact same time. It was the same call. So it was a lot of emotions, and I was very, very grateful and excited.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, actually, speaking of Dead Boy Detectives, you played a crow.
Yeah.
Uh, did you have to do any particular research for that?
Yeah, I was outside bird watching. I was studying, feeding the crows, really getting immersed in it. No, I don't, I think when I turn into a human, so it's kind of like I was more playing a character that is experiencing the world for the first time. Um, and so that's kind of just, very relatable to a lot of people. So I just kind of tapped into maybe that side of me that was learning new things, and having, first loves and things like that. So I just definitely channeled like a younger version of myself, maybe.
Awesome. Wow. Super cool. Imagine both of that news at one time. You must have been feeling really on top of the world. Good for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really was. And I filmed both projects at the exact same time too. So it was really a balance of like, switching from Hook to Monty. It was crazy, but it was very, very exciting.
Wow, that's amazing. Man, you can really do it all. That's great.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Okay. So, uh, I know this is very different than playing your character Monty in Dead Boy Detectives, but what would you say was the most challenging part about this role, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I mean, the most challenging part for me was the dancing. I think there's a lot of dancing in Descendants. And even though I was on Broadway when I was younger and I was in a musical that's very, very dance heavy called Newsies, I didn't dance in that show very much. I was a fraud. It was a secret. I secretly couldn't dance. But I danced in this other movie I did called Senior Year. So that kind of prepared me for, the rehearsals and the choreography and picking them up. But all these other little babies, most of them, I mean, Kylie, Ruby, Dara, they're all like very, very good dancers and they pick up choreography very, very quickly. So I kind of felt like a fish out of water a little bit. But Ashley Wallen, who was the choreographer, was incredible and he really was so patient with all of us. And now I consider myself a strong mover now. So yeah, I think that was definitely the hardest thing to overcome, but I think I did it, and hopefully you agree when you watch the movie.
Yes, I love that. A strong mover. I'm going to start saying that because I have
Yes.
two feet. So thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. We're strong movers, babe. Strong movers through and through.
Awesome. Well, I mean, besides dancing, this movie definitely has a lot of makeup and costuming. How do you think those elements, makeup, costume, bring you to your character? How do you bring that out with all those elements?
Oh my gosh. Well, once I put that hook on and I get that eyeliner on, I'm right into it. Like, good luck getting me out of the character, honestly. I'm sure my other cast members is like, is this British guy gonna ever go away? Um, but literally, like, the costume design was so wonderful, and like they were also very collaborative in a sense. said that I really wanted eyeliner because that just felt very hooked to me and they made it happen. And you know, my hair was very long at the time, so that also kind of got me into the vibe. Um, I don't know. It's once you have all of like everything put together and you're looking yourself in the mirror with the dangly earring and like a giant hook on your hand, it's hard not to just become the character. So yeah, all of that was very, very instrumental in bringing the character to life. And I'm really, really happy with the way Hook looks. It's exactly how I imagined it. And it's I think little baby Josh would love the look.
That's amazing. And I know because it is an iconic Disney villain, and there have been several portrayals of him. Would you say that he is your favorite Disney villain since you did portray him when you were a kid?
I would. I would go as far to say that. I definitely would. I think he's just like so fun and flawed and like he's a good time. He's very theatrical, you know, he's very, you know, vain and like I don't know, it's just all like the ugliest parts of yourself that you want to just like let go. Like you can kind of do that with Hook. And it was really fun to, you know, explore that.
So, yeah. Well, were there any other firsts for you on this project?
Hmm. Let me think. Well, I mean, you know, I'd always wanted to be in a Disney movie, you know, like I grew up with High School Musical and all Camp Rock, all of those. Like I had a big High School Musical poster in my room when I was a kid. So, you know, Disney Channel movies were my life growing up. So to find out that I was going to get, you know, get to be a part of one was so exciting. And the first that I got to do was, you know, the little do 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 do. My name is Joshua Colley. You're watching Disney Channel. We got to do that, and I know the whole cast was so excited to do that. So that was the first that I got to do, which was a dream come true. And they used the same like wand for like almost all of the people who have done the wand IDs. So I was like, I'm holding a piece of history in my hands. So that was a first that I was so excited to do. But the whole movie in general felt like a first to me. Um, um, you know, movie musical was something I'd always wanted to do because, you know, I grew up in theater and that was, I feel like it was the perfect blend of both worlds. So to finally get to do that was a dream.
Wow, yeah. And since you brought up DComs, for all the people out there who, grew up, like you said, watching High School Musical, Camp Rock, all those things, like we love them. What would you say makes a DCom a DCom? What makes them so enjoyable?
I don't know. There's something in it. There's some science behind it that needs to be studied because it really is, it somehow feels so new, but so nostalgic and so, I don't know. If I'm being honest, I think it really is the musical aspect for me. I think the music really can just pull at a heartstring that a lot of, you know, other mediums can't tap into. And yeah, I don't know. I'm a musical theater fan through and through, so I'm always gonna be like musicals are elite. But yeah, I think it is the musical aspect for me personally. Um, and there's so much music in our movie that I'm so excited for people to hear.
Yeah, I totally feel you. Musical kid through and through. Yeah. Well, since staying on the vein of like Disney and we talked about villains, let's get a little into Disney princesses.
Okay.
Is there any Disney princess palace that you would want to live in? And if you did, what is something that you would definitely have to have in your palace?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think Jasmine's palace in Aladdin is pretty epic. And while we're there, let's throw in the magic carpet. You know what I mean? Let's have it all. Let's have the lamp, let's have the magic carpet, let's have the tiger. Let's just do it all, you know what I mean? I think that one is the most grand in my mind. And especially in the live action one that they just did, it was so magical. So I'd love to visit or stay there permanently.
That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. And since you are a musical kid, I'm sure you must have a favorite Disney song of all time.
I do. You know, it's a toss up from from one movie. Tangled is just my, I don't even know what is going on in Tangled, but there is something in that movie that makes my brain just like explode. I love Tangled so much. I think, you know, At Last I See the Light is just that's one that'll get me going. But there's also another one from Tangled where she like just feel the grass, the dirt, just like I dreamed they'd be. That one, the orchestrations, Alan Menken, I don't know, he did his big one with that one because it just gets me, I get chills and goosebumps every time I listen to that. So definitely one of those from Tangled is my favorite Disney one.
Oh, that's definitely a really good movie. I live and breathe Disney, as I'm sure most people from our
Yes.
generation do. It's hard not to, though, right?
It really is. I mean, they've got the formula. They know exactly what we want and they're giving it to us.
Yeah, they definitely are. Now, you said that you did theater, and I know that you've done television shows and now films. Are there some particular lessons in acting or life that you have brought with you to this project?
Hmm. You know, I think I think I've just learned to kind of bring myself to every character I've portrayed. I think finding the truth in every character that you play is key. Um, and I definitely tried to do that with Hook because I think, he's a villain. He really is a villain, and a lot of the things he's saying is like, okay, you're not very nice. But I think trying to find the humanity and like finding myself in the character has been very important. And yeah, I don't know. I think like villains get a bad rep a lot of the time, but there's like motivations behind all of their, what they're saying. It's insecurity, it's like jealousy, things like that. So I think tapping into those, emotions were kind of like the key to unlocking Hook for me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. Definitely misunderstood people. They're all just people going through things that you and I have.
Exactly. 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 And some of them have magical powers and want to use them to destroy people. But you know what?
Who's judging?
You live, you learn.
Exactly. So I know that Brandy does end up making an appearance in this film, which is amazing because
Oh
she
my
was in the
gosh.
Rodgers and Hammerstein version, and I'm assuming you've seen that version.
Of course. Oh my gosh. I loved it with Whitney Houston. It was so good. And Paolo's in it too. So incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you take anything from that and bring it here? And I don't know if you've seen that viral clip of like Whitney Houston and
Why
Brandy.
are you down there? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. How would you feel if you're working with Whitney Houston and she said that to you? How would you react? What would you be thinking?
I would suddenly turn into a soprano. I would literally jump 3 octaves. I'd be like, I'm so sorry, Whitney. No, but I'm so happy Brandy and Paolo are part of this movie. I was such a fan of that movie and I was such a fan of Brandy before. Um and she brings such a wonderful energy to the movie, and the cover that she does in the movie is magical and I cannot wait for everyone to hear it. I think everyone's going to be hitting replay on that Spotify. They're just going to be streaming that thing. Yeah, no, they bring such a wonderful energy to the movie. And I really am just so excited for people to see it.
And I know that you were also in Love, Victor. What was that like? I mean, that's so different from what you're doing now and Hook. Was there
Yeah.
anything about that that you thought you could bring to this character?
I think they're very, very, very different. Um, I loved being on Love Victor. I'd become friends with the whole cast before I was even on the show. So they kind of were like, come on our show. Like, we can get you on our show. And I was like, okay, let's go. And so I think it was very much a family on that production. And I think that's kind of what I brought to Descendants is, the sense of community in the cast. We really are such a big family. And everyone is like, I can't even express how much I love each and every person in our cast. And I think they're such great role models for the young people that are going to be watching the movie and, the older people that are going to be watching the movie too. I think they're just stand-up people. And I think they're going to have very, very long careers. And I'm so excited to, go on that journey with them.
Oh, and so will you have a long career.
Thank you. Thank you. It's manifesting that.
We're gonna make it happen. You've done it so far. You'll definitely make it happen.
Thank you.
And, since you said you've made these wonderful bonds with people, was there anyone in particular that you had scenes with that you learned a lot from them or brought something out of you didn't know you had?
That's so interesting. Well, Dara is very much a Disney girl. Like she knows exactly what she's doing. And I just learned a lot from her on set, but even when we were doing like press or me and Dara had done this kind of like we hosted this thing together and just watching her just do her thing is just so wonderful and mesmerizing and she's so like built for this that I'm just like wow like you really were meant to be here and she's such a star so I really am just like in awe of her and she's kind of like the leader of the VKs so I think it's fitting that we're all kind of looking up to her.
Oh, that's wonderful. Wow. Were there any particular differences for you between singing on a stage in theater and then singing in a film like this? I mean, when you're probably doing multiple takes and on stage, I'm sure you have one shot and then that's it. Or what was that like for you?
Yeah, it was wonderful, honestly. I think yeah, getting the opportunity to, do it as many times as you want and really get the perfect sound that you want was so nice. I also love theater though too. I think the fact that, the audience sees that one performance and that's the only time they'll see that specific version um is so like thrilling and I feel like there's nothing really like that. But I also love the fact that, you know, with a movie, like I can go back and look at this movie when I'm older and I can't really do that with theater. So I kind of like how there's, it's kind of immortalized um forever. And me and everybody who watches it are gonna get to watch it for long, long time. I mean, I still watch the original Descendants movies all the time. And I think it's really cool to be able to have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's really good. And it will live in the Disney DCOM like fan base memories of all time, right up there with High School Musical.
Oh my gosh, one can only hope. I mean, really, wow.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you made some really good connections with like some of your other cast members. Do you have any funny moments that happened off camera that you want to share with us?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there were so many, but the first one that comes to mind is this is a little bit like, ooh, that's crazy. But I accidentally pulled the fire alarm at our hotel. And um I was like leaving my room and I remembered that I forgot my key in my room, so the door was gonna lock. So I was trying to catch my door by like bouncing off the wall to kind of catch it. And I was like, wow, the wall felt so weird when I touched it. And it turns out I didn't just touch the wall, I had touched the fire alarm and I had accidentally pulled it. And so the whole hotel had to evacuate. And
Oh.
everybody, and Peter, who plays Morgie, literally FaceTimed or he texted me and he was like, did you pull the fire alarm, Josh? As a joke. And then
Mm,
I called him and I was like, how did you know? How did you know it was me? And he was just joking. So that kind of just, goes to show our dynamic on the movie. We were all very silly, joking around, and sometimes those jokes became reality.
yep.
So that was crazy. And thank you to the hotel for not being mad at me for that.
Oh, so you did end up coming clean and telling them.
No. They weren't mad at me because they didn't find out.
Oh, perfect.
I did tell the front desk man, but after I told him, I did run away. I did flee the scene.
Okay,
Um, but I came back when the dust had settled and everything was fine. Thank God.
perfect, perfect. No, nobody was hurt in the making of these moments. Wonderful
No,
memories.
nobody was hurt. Nobody was hurt, but it was very VK of me. Very VK to accidentally pull the fire alarm. I mean, it was an accident, but if it was Hook, who knows? Maybe it wasn't an accident.
I guess you'll
Uh-oh.
have to watch the movie and find out. Make your own
Exactly.
conclusions, everyone.
Exactly.
So I see you guys are definitely having a lot of fun off the cameras. Were there any particular snacks at the crafty station that you were
Ooh.
obsessed with, had to have?
Oh my gosh. So many. So many. Honestly, the coffee in the morning. I'm not even a coffee person, but we those were very long days. So my little hazelnut coffee was my go-to every day. And Peter and I like had a ritual every morning because we'd have to get there very early. And I recorded Peter. I'm sure I'll post it somewhere, but every morning I would hear a little knock on my trailer door and it'd be Peter and he'd be like, "You want to go to Crafty?" Every single day without fail. Um, and it was so adorable. So that was kind of our little ritual in the morning. We would go there together, have our little coffee, chat. It was so much fun. I literally had the best time with everyone, and I would do it again right now if I could. It was so much fun.
Well, you never know, Descendants 5, right?
Who knows? Who knows? Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Well, when this does come out, I assume everybody's gonna be gathering their besties, sitting on the couch to watch this. What do you think is the best snack to eat while watching it?
Ooh, oh my gosh. Well, let's think. I'm gonna say pirate booty. You know pirate booty? I
Oh,
think
I know
very,
Papa
very
Booty.
fitting for Captain Hook. So
Very
that's
fit.
what I'll be eating with my little hook, stabbing it.
That is hilarious. If anybody chooses to do this, that would be amazing.
Please send me pictures.
Send in pictures. Okay. I would love to do some rapid fire questions with you, all about firsts, if you're ready.
Okay.
All right. First acting role.
Tiny Tim in A Christmas Carol.
Ooh, that's a good one. First audition ever.
Ooh, I think it was Tiny Tim in A Christmas Carol.
Okay. What was your first dream role?
Ooh, my first dream role. Well, I guess it was maybe Hook.
Check then.
Check, check.
Okay. First time on set.
Ooh, first time on set was this show called Madam Secretary.
Oh, wow. You know, I
Ooh,
remember that show.
yeah, it was a cute one.
Yeah. Okay. First time on stage.
First time on stage was Tiny Tim in A Christmas Carol. I'm sensing
Uh,
a theme.
okay. First on-screen kiss, if you had one.
Oh my gosh, my first on-screen kiss was in Love Victor.
Love
It was
Victor.
with Michael in Love Victor.
Oh. Okay. First time you had to cry on cue.
Oh my gosh. I well, crying cute. I did it in Newsies, but it wasn't. I didn't need to, but I did because I was in my acting bag as a baby.
That's awesome. And you were just like, yeah, let me just give you a
I
little
was like,
something.
let's add some oomph to this scene.
I'm sure it
It
was much needed.
was, it really was.
Okay. First movie or show that inspired you to
Uh,
act.
High School Musical.
High School Musical.
High School Musical, for sure.
Nice. Do you have any actors that are on your list? Since obviously you just manifest things and you make them happen. Do you have any actors that are on your list to perform with that you
Oh
hope will
my
happen one day?
gosh. You know, I'd love to work with Lisa Kudrow. I think she is so incredible. And I'd love to work with Carol Burnett.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a niche one, but I love her. I think she's so incredible. My name is Joshua Colley. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to Young Entertainment.